Alright, what's going on, guys? I am bringing you my top 5 ARs for Call of Duty Ghosts. The gameplay you're going to be watching in the background is a league play game. I think I dropped 56 kills. I think I go 56 and 3. I also believe I dropped 2 swarms. I could be wrong. I know I get at least 1. I think I get 2 though. And the game ends pretty early as well. I dropped like 60 kills in like 8 minutes or something, so could have been a lot more, but you know, it's not a big deal. Also, it's recorded at theater, so you won't see any league play ranks. I'm pretty sure these kids were shit. I'm not trying to pretend they're good or anything like they're a master, but people always ask me that. The main reason I do that is because I'm usually listening to music or just like watching a stream or something when I'm playing league play, and I really don't sit there and like record because there's no way for you to lose a league play game. So I just sit there, I'll play for like 2 hours, and I'll go back and record any of my good games. But anyways, that's not important. The main part of this video now is my top 5 ARs. I actually do believe the most popular request was the top 5 like worst pros or something, but I don't feel like I am the person to make that video. Like, as me not being a pro player myself, I don't know, like, it feels wrong for me to like call any pro players bad, no matter what my actual personal beliefs may be or whatever, because I could come up with a list of who I think are the worst, but I don't know, I just feel like that video won't get taken in the right context or anything. I'm not gonna make it. I feel like that's just like a negative video, and I'm not gonna make it. So yeah, anyways, you can leave me any other suggestions later that are positive. I'll do those, but yeah, anyways, let's get into the list. So number 5, JCap, 1.11 overall KD in Ghosts. The thing about Ghosts and ARs, like, it's changed a lot. In the beginning of the game, there were a lot of ARs being ran. As the game progressed, right around COD Champs time, a lot more maps became 4 subs, like Sovereign did. Strike Zone did as well, but honestly, people used to run ARs on Strike Zone in the beginning of the game. And that changed, and then pretty much almost every map now is 4 subs except for Octane. And occasionally you can see an AR on Freight Dom. Occasionally you can see an AR on Warhawk Blitz. Occasionally you can see an AR on Sovereign Domination as well. But other than that, it's 4 subs on every single map. It's actually 4 vectors on every single map. But anyway, so JCap at number 5, he has a 1.11 KD. He started stepping up recently. As the game progressed, I think he really got a lot better. I feel like he's a player who got better after the vector meta became the thing. But honestly, he's obviously a top 5 AR in probably every single Call of Duty that he's competed in, at least since Black Ops 1, or actually Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 1. So at least since Modern Warfare 2, I don't even, was he around in COD 4? I have no idea. I don't even know who was in the scene in COD 4. But anyways, he probably was back then too. Anyways, though, JCap, obviously you got to put him in your top 5. Number 4, Mochilla. He has a 1.10 KD overall in Ghosts. He's underrated as hell. Like, and I think it's just because he's never really been on a major team. At least in Ghosts he has. I think he was around in Black Ops 1. I have no idea what teams he were on or anything like that. I had never heard of him up until Ghosts, but he has been around before then. But obviously Curse, like, they're not like the most known team or anything. He's never been on an Envy or a FaZe or an Optic or anything like that. So he doesn't get the recognition he deserves, I'd say. Also, he has a very weird playstyle compared to everyone else that's going to be on this list. He's well, I guess he's kind of comparable to Clayster, but honestly, he's even slower of a player than Clayster. Like, he's an extremely slow player, but obviously that's kind of something you look for in AR, I guess, so it benefits him. But honestly, he's a really good AR. He has one of the best shots, at least with the AR, but obviously his placings, and they don't exactly reflect that, but placings aren't really a big deal as far as like this list is concerned. But he's underrated, he's really good, and yeah, that's all I can really see. He's also he's really good at search. I've noticed he's a really good search AR. But anyways, let's continue. Number 3, I think these next 3, everyone should know these next 3, but I guess it's just dependent on the order. Honestly, the order should be pretty self-explanatory as well. But anyways, number 3, we got Dito, 1.15 overall KD in Call of Duty Ghosts. Another underrated player, and I think that's going to change now that he joined EG. Honestly, I can see EG doing extremely well with him. Obviously, he's not as good as Karma, but I think he fits the role that they want him to be more than Karma does, because Karma was kind of had to get held back and not do everything that he would want to do on EG, and he sacrificed that just so he could win, and you know, that worked out well for him. He has 100k, you know, obviously from Ghost COD Champs. But Dito is more of a player that fits the role that they're looking for. He's a natural AR player, and he's shown that he's very good with the Vector as well. MTAR as well, obviously, but he's shown that he can hang with the sub as well as an AR. You know, they made well, he's for a while he switched and ran a sub for FaZe, and they let Parasite run the AR, obviously, because Parasite really, he's not a sub player. But anyways, we'll ignore that. Anyways, yeah, Dito, man, I think in the upcoming next, like, 2 months, depending on how EG does, he's definitely about to blow up. But, you know, we'll have to see. It really depends on if EG can win the event or not. But anyways, number 2, Clayster. Now, Clayster's gotten a lot of hate, and I kind of see where it comes from, but at the same time, I think people are, if another player was putting up the stats that Clayster's putting up, honestly, he'd be getting praised for it, and that's the thing. Because of how good Clayster was at Black Ops 2 as an AR, as an anchor, his standards are just so high that he can't keep up with them in Ghost because of how shitty the game is. And honestly, in the beginning of Ghost, he was really good as an AR. He was 100% the best AR probably in the beginning of Ghost. And then what happened was the Vector. So, to break it down, basically what happened to Clayster. Clayster's the type of player that he plays really slow, and he sits back and he waits to catch people sprinting. He waits for people to make a mistake so he can get his kills. He's probably always going to be the player on the team with like the least stats. He might also have a low amount of kills, but he pretty much always will probably have the least stats on his team because of the way that he plays. And what happened was the Vector, you know, came out, and the Vector slowed down the game. The Vector made everybody play slow, so Clayster struggled with that because people were making less mistakes, people weren't sprinting as much, people weren't, you know, just running across the map and shit. So he wasn't able to get the kills that he would normally get. And honestly, not just him, every single AR. You know, once the Vector came out, the same problem happened to all the ARs. But Clayster's just a slower AR, and combined with the standards that he set for himself in Black Ops 2, people really just downgraded him in this game. But honestly, if you look at his stats and you look at what he's done extremely, like, above average. His stats are top 10, but just because of how good he was in Black Ops 2, he hasn't done that in Ghosts. So people, they don't really, I guess disrespect him, discredit him, I don't know. Anyways, number 1, no surprise here. Especially if you're coming to my video, there should be no surprise here. But honestly, he earned it. Karma, 1.17 KD. And I don't know, a lot of people don't understand this. Like, I remember when, I made a tweet when they dropped him. I said that Dito would be the perfect replacement, and I said that Karma couldn't go to Optic Gaming because him and Scump play the same role. I guess people don't understand. Karma is not a AR player. The only reason Karma ran an AR is because he wanted to win, and EG needed an AR. So he stepped in, filled Clayster's role, ran the AR, ran it extremely well, ran the best AR for those, you know, whatever 6 events that they played with him, or whatever the number is. I don't know, I don't have it memorized, but up until G3, he ran the AR role extremely well, the best in the game. And that's why I give him a lot of credit, because that's not what he wants to do, and that's not his natural role. In Black Ops 2, he ran a sub. I won't even talk about previous Call of Duties, that doesn't have any relevance, but for the first event in Ghost, he played with Envy. He had a 1.44 KD, I believe, running an SMG, highest KD at the event. Immediately after that, he was traded. I don't know what traded. I don't think it was called traded back then, but nowadays they call it traded. Anyways, he went to Complexity, now EG, and he was forced to run an AR, and it's crazy to think that a player who is not naturally known for running an AR, who would like to run a sub and is forced to run an AR, became the best AR in the game. So that's why I got Karma number 1. But honestly, Clayster's just as good. His stats are slightly lower, and that's kind of a problem. But I think honestly, if they could do like a AR only stats, that would be really interesting to see, because I know Karma's stats with a sub just demolish Clayster's stats with a sub, and that's why Karma's overall stats are better. But if they, I don't know how they do it, but like if they could do like an AR only stat sheet, that would be really interesting to see, because that's how you get a true you know, feel for who's the best AR. But anyways, that's just all my opinions for the top 5. My honorable mentions, obviously, Goonjar. Honestly, number 5 came down to either Goonjar or JCap, and I gave it to JCap because of consistency and stats and placings, obviously, as well. But Goonjar, he has had some events where he just went off, but at the same time, he's had some events where he did pretty bad, so that's why I didn't put him in the top 5, but, you know, he's obviously a top 10. Nameless, he's been running a lot of AR recently, especially on Freight Dom. You already know Nameless is going to run the AR, but he's pretty versatile. I wouldn't really classify as an AR player at all, but when he does pull out AR, he's pretty good with it, so there you go. Proofy as well. Honestly, Proofy's just struggling in this game overall, but top 10 AR for sure. Ricky as well. He reminds me of a Clayster or a Mochilla, extremely slow player as well. But yeah, those are kind of just the honorable mentions that I thought of. There's probably more. I don't know how many honorable mentions I should really do, because after a certain point, it doesn't really become honorable, I guess, if I have like fucking 10 people in there. But anyways, that's pretty much it. That's my top 5 ARs for Ghosts. Leave a comment down below on what category you'd like to see next. I think underrated was pretty popular as well. I think I might do that one, top 5 most underrated. But anyways, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like rating if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you are not already. Follow me on Twitter. Links in the description down below. Other than that, have a good day and peace out.